Michelin is a company synonymous with bike tyres, and for 2018 they've brought out a brand new range called the Wild Enduro. As it says on the tin, this is a range of tyres specifically designed around the needs of enduro racers and basically riders that like to ride hard. It's been developed since 2015 with the help of people like Adrien and Dailly and Jérôme Clémentz, who recently became world's number 2 and number 4 in the EWS series. And other riders like Jamie Nicol have had a hand in the development of these tyres. So the range actually consists of just 3 tyres that will be due out at some point in March 2018, only in 27.5 to start off with, and in the 2.4 inch tyre size. So the choice is quite limited. However, they are bringing out a rear tyre and 2 choices of front tyre. Interestingly, both front tyres use the same tread pattern, but use a different compound of rubber. Whilst it might sound unusual to actually only come out with 3 new tyres, Michelin say that this tyre is actually suitable for at least 80% of all riding conditions, something that British riders should really pick up their ears and listen to. So basically, for every condition barring very, very hard pack or very, very wet, sloppy mud, these tyres should work. And in fact, for Adrien and Jérôme, they used this tyre for the entire season, from wet and muddy Madeira to the driest tracks on Finale. And obviously they had great success with those tyres. What is the differences between them? Well, the rear tyre comes in just a single compound, as I said. It's the MAGI-X compound, which is a very, very soft, very, very comfortable and controllable tyre. It's very grippy, but it uses a low profile tread pattern. The front tyres, obviously a lot more aggressive because most of your grip comes from this tyre. And as I said, they are available in 2 different compounds. The reasoning for this is they've decided to divide up the 2 tyres dependent on experience. So not saying that one is for beginners and one is for experts, but what they're saying is that the MAGI-X compound works better at slower speeds and is a lot more comfortable and a lot more predictable. So basically it is a softer compound than the higher end MAGI-X tyre. Now that seems to sort of put things on its head from what is normal, where you'd find a very soft compound on the high end and a harder compound on the lower end tyres. So really, the difference between the MAGI-X and the MAGI-X is the MAGI-X, as I said, is a slightly harder compound that allows the knobs themselves, so the tread, to stand up at higher speed. So it's a more predictable tyre. The main differences between it is the top end MAGI-X uses a slightly more stable tread pattern. So when really, really hammering it, and effectively it offers more grip at that point as well. The other interesting thing that Michelin sort of stated about this tyre and the compound they use is it's developed from MotoGP. So obviously a tyre like MotoGP tyres are designed to work at incredibly high speeds, and they've said that it works with a slightly different frequency resonance. So actually it feels quite hard and pingy when you're going at slower speeds, but as you go faster and faster and on more aggressive tracks, it becomes a much more comfortable tyre. It's a very, very unusual feeling, because at first you feel like you've either got too much pressure or you actually feel like it's just not going to be a great tyre. But as soon as you go faster, it actually becomes much grippier in certain conditions than the MAGI-X. For most of us, unless you race or you're on the edge for every single ride, the MAGI-X might not necessarily be the tyre to go for, which is why Michelin have brought out the MAGI-X version as well. So as I said, this is a tyre that is going to cost a little bit less, but it is actually a slightly softer compound and actually is more comfortable as well. So even though it's the same size as a 2.4, and as I said, only in 27.5 currently, but the MAGI-X is more stable at slower speeds, and it actually sort of has better grip at those slower speeds as well than the MAGI-X version of that tyre. I mentioned earlier about how this is a tyre that is suited for at least 80% of all riding conditions, and that's why this should be a tyre that UK riders should be thinking of. In fact, It's designed almost like a UK specific tyre. So rather than actually wondering whether or not you've got the right tyres on for the conditions or anything, you can put these tyres on and effectively forget about them for 90% of the year. It's only when it's incredibly dry or if it's incredibly wet where you might want to actually consider changing the tyre itself. We've been testing these on the tracks around San Romolo and San Remo, and it has been very, very dry and dusty, but the grip level is phenomenal on these. On dry rock or on sandy tracks, and even in the forest, it's been absolutely spot on.